do believe that is up the top. Okay. It's probably going to be fairly tight with the curve, so I might just curve this piece of wood just to avoid it stopping short, because I want it right up tight. So that will go into there. In fact, we don't need it so wide, we can always trim it down so it's just this wide. But then that bar, when the bar's dropped into here, it'll spread the load on here. I mean, this is pretty strong anyway, but you know, you're spreading the load across there would be much better. It's only like a brace for, like I say, when the winch is pulling. Obviously, I'm not going to, if I get problems with, say, stuck crab pots, that kind of thing, then I will take this off so the winch is not braced there, swing it round forwards, brace it on the front there, and then I'll run the rope off the front roller or something to try and free the pots. I won't be straining on the side here. So that's only if you get a stuck pot. I'm still going to probably put a post underneath. I haven't got around to that yet, but that's a 10-minute job to make up a post. I will use stainless brackets on it, top and bottom, and that'll just add a bit more underneath here, even though it's pretty damn stiff now. But well, if it tries to leave, it shouldn't do, because I mean, it's got the sidebar as well. I mean, this thing's going to be reinforced. You can anchor your boat on it by the end of it. Some people did say about concerns about the davit not swinging, but a lot of davits are fixed, and it relies on the block and chain kind of thing on the top, which will move to the angle you want, as long as you get it near enough. A lot of them have it sticking straight out the side, but with our tides I like to have it forward, because then it will just pull the boat nicely into the tide. But you don't want it too far forward that your pot comes up too far ahead of the boat. You know, bigger boats you can have it off the side more, because obviously they will take the tide better anyway. So much to do, so little time, and I'm drinking coffee. Yeah, you gotta have your coffee, keep you going. Being that we're gonna have batteries in here, I need to think about hinges and things. So what the idea is a battery box, and if you take the lid off you can slide the battery out, but we need to have it quite flush, because if we have it too high, well, there's an edge there. Being there's not much wood, you could break it off. So we're thinking of hinging straight to the floor with the door, cut it out and do that. That is the plan at the moment. But hinges, inside, outside. Thinking inside. What size? Well, we've got a couple of different ones to play around with here. This is just an aluminium one, which seems to be stuck, and some brass ones. Not brass plated ones like they try to fool you with these days, but proper brass ones. With a brass pin as well. Not a steel pin. Right. So yeah, we could do something like that, you see. One of the small ones. And then when it closes, check those hinges like that. Yeah, when it closes. So I was just looking at this. This is a standard fish box, but this is between the middle seat and the second seat. This could be quite useful, having a fish box around here, because obviously you can put your fish in it, but also, just move that, just need to check that it wasn't too tight. The other side of it is, you can put it here when you're pulling the crab pots, and you can put your crab in there, or you can put your rope in there, or whatever you like in there. That could work out quite well. Or you could have it like that. One thing I've learned with fish boxes is usually they cover, if a fish box can fit in it, most of your other boxes can fit in it, except maybe if you've got a giant cool box, like a giant one, but I haven't got anything bigger than, it might be as big as this. The cool box will fit in here though, because you've still got space. I like to put the weight at the front. I don't know, like I said with this boat, it hasn't been tested yet, but quite often you put the extra weight at the front just to keep everything nicely balanced when you're motoring along, when you're heading home and stuff. That's going to be the problem. It's going to push the thing up, but we cracked it anyway. Is there another? Where's that red one? Probably use a little dumpy screwdriver to put it on. Or I put them on before the box went on. That's what that was. That's what it was. So you might see we're taking off all the sounder bits, because these sounders are obviously going on the new machines. I only bought one of them last year, and they're really good sounders. They're Garmin ones, which have worked out really well. I'm really pleased with them so far. I'll let you know when I'm not. But at the moment, they're doing some good stuff. Right, so just do that, and then pull that out. I've got to go down the middle somewhere. That was easier than I thought it was going to be honest. Although I haven't got it yet, but
there you go.
Yeah. I kept a short screw in it, that's why. Probably for that reason. There we go, that's that out now. Ah, there's the problem. Look. The hole's right against there.
Oh, it's because you put the box on after it.
Let's see. Wires are gone from there that we need for the sounders. Sounders off the back. We've taken the engine mount off this as well. I'm going to use this one for this year. I did look at getting another one, but I'd have to order one in and all the rest of it, so we'll use the other one for now. I'm going to have to just recondition it a bit. But sad days really, but I'm taking the post off. We're going to use that post, because I don't think, I mean the post with the radar reflector is actually part of the license requirements, so that's why we're taking it off and putting it on the other boat. At the moment, I did think about getting one of these electronic ones, but I don't know. Post can be useful actually, because when you walk across the boat, sometimes it can just stabilise you a little bit, you know. It's not meant to lean on, but it just gives you that added stability when moving around sometimes. Plus it's a good place to put the camera for filming. So yeah, and I've taken these cleats off. I will be putting some cleats back on this, but the ones that came off are some large stainless ones that I got a couple of years ago. So I want to replace those on the back of the boat. I'll probably just put some large alloy ones back on this boat, because buying stainless cleats is not the cheapest things, and I want stainless on the back because I've got to moor I have a stern rope on this one, so I don't want alloy, I want the stainless ones for that reason. Otherwise I'd just have left them on and just gone with the alloys, but yeah, I still keep thinking of renovating this boat, you know. But oh god, to get it over and that, it's just, I'd need to flip the whole thing upside down, and the way things are at the moment, it's, you know, tricky. Years ago I'd have had this thing flipped, be onto the case straight away. Right, let's go back to the other boat. Right, so we've moved over to the boat. We've got our wires and things here. We're just sorting out where the sounders are going. Now what we've decided to do at the moment, because the problem is that radar reflector pole, with the shape of the boat and how it's going to go in, we can't put it too close to the side. One thing when they're close to the side, because the boat tips outwards, when you're trailering it, the pole sticks out, so you have to remove the pole if you want to catch hedges and things that lean across the road too much. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring it in to here, because this way the pole can come down attached to this bar. We'll put a bracket or a block on there, make this hole bigger so it slots in. We're going to put some wood under there to reinforce it a bit, and then we're going to be building a box here for the sounder, for this and the GPS. So we'll have a box here, and where the box comes up here, we'll bolt the pole to the back of the box. That solves the issue with the pole, so that should be pretty sturdy. And then we're thinking at the moment for rod holders to come down here, so we'll put rod holders there, so they'll come up from the side of this seat, out of the way again, because obviously you've got the winch on the right, and everything when fishing is always working on the right most of the time. And that's where we are at the moment. We're just trying to assemble it all, get everything, wires put into place for everything, because obviously we've got all the sounder wires, we've got all the transducer wires that have got to come to here, we've got battery charging wires have got to be run to the battery area, and everything's got to go to the switches at the front there. So a lot to do, and on top of that we're working on this well to go in the side there for the winch. We're looking at just posting underneath here. See how we get on with that. There we go. Right, I'm going to have to cut that wire back. Starting to get cloudy. Seagulls are coming in. Must be a storm coming. Anyway, you may notice that it doesn't seem like a lot's happening on the boat, or a lot has changed yet, because this week's been a lot of preparation and a lot of manufacturing kind of things. For instance, things like this. This is L bracket made from angled stainless steel, and the idea of this is, I'll show you, because I don't know if you can see down there where the post is. Put a post in underneath now. Now it's just a regular post, like a fence post kind of thing. It's pressurized wood, I believe, but I may change that out for hardwood next year. We'll see how we get on first, because like I say, we're trying all this out first. So that braces the large plank of hardwood underneath, which this is bolted through to, so it's right next to it, so it'll add, well, it just braces this to the floor, stop things moving around so much. And of course we're using stainless plates to plate the post on. Now while we were doing that, as you know, we were working on the bar, which is going to brace across like so, across from the winch to the side of the boat to make it super strong. Now what we came up with while we were doing this, we had an idea. Instead of putting a rollock holder, a single one, through the top of the boat into a piece of wood which is going to be set in behind here to spread the load, we could possibly use this. Now this is work in progress. Again, we need to bring the winch out and test it, which we won't be doing at the moment, but we've made it up roughly. It just needs finishing off, grinding, polishing, that kind of thing, and that'll bolt onto there, through there, into the wood. So it'll be, well, literally just below that. I mean, we can put it anywhere really. We can put it there, anywhere. It depends on the height of the bar and where it is on here. So that can be bolted on there, but the idea with this is we can put several holes in, and depending on the curve in the bar, we could possibly have different points that we can turn the winch and brace it, so we don't have to have the same angle. We can change it. You know, if the tide's a bit stronger, or there's no tide, or we're pulling from the side, and we want to pull forward more, we can just move the bar along here. But again, like I say, we have to see how far that bar will go, because obviously it's possible the bar will shorten as you turn it on a curve. Again, work in progress. It's an idea, it's not finalised, but we've made it up anyway, and when we bring the winch out next time, we'll look at that, and we'll look at the other method as well. We haven't put the wood in yet, but we are getting there. So like I say, making things up. And of course you saw that we did, like that hole that was there, we made the hole bigger. It'll have a plank, there's a piece of wood with the hole as well underneath, plywood. The boat light and the radar reflector will go down through that pole. Now brace to under the seat down there onto this, through there, and then the sounder box will go here. The GPS and the fish finder, it'll be a reinforced box. And this will come up and that'll bolt to the back of the box as well, so it'll be braced there, so that'd be a good spot for that. And then hopefully here we'll put fishing rod holders. We'll only get probably 3, because we've got to think of this canopy thing. I mean, we could have more if we'd have this down, and we also have to think about where the radar, I think we're clear of it here, so we'll only put probably, I'm thinking 3 at the moment. I'd like to get 4 in, but you know, you don't want them too close because of reels and things. We'll see how we get on with that. So yet again, another idea in the working. And of course this cuddy here isn't in yet. I've actually got it in the shed at the moment. Everything's cut out, the door and everything is done. I just need to assemble the parts, like for closing it and all the rest of it, and then when the batteries are all in position and the wiring's done, that'll get put on, screwed into place, because I'd rather have it all open, obviously for ease of access for working on things. But no, it is coming together, it's coming together quite quickly now. like I say, a lot of the work we're doing is preparation, most of it, and then all of a sudden we'll just go mad and we'll start piling it all in and working on it. We took off the auxiliary engine mount, and that's in the workshop, and I've just replaced the stainless bar at the top, which it was aluminium but it was rotting, this little bar, so replaced it with a piece of stainless through there, and that's going to be cleaned up before it goes back on the boat. Obviously that'll be being bolted on the back. We're going to have to do all the wiring, the sounder, transducer, and another thing we're going to be looking at is this pump here. Now I'll show you this. Okay. Yeah, so as you see, you've got this little well here, which is where the water goes, or supposed to go. It's not the best ideas I've ever seen, I don't think, but this is what happens when they try and put buoyancy tanks in a boat, and then the water sits on top of the boat, where the water should sit lower down, stabilising the boat. It ends up on top, and then they have to come up with a well for the pump, and this is all safety. If your boat sinks, then your boat floats, but then your chance of your boat sinking is a lot higher if the water's on the deck and not down there. It's a very messed up kind of system as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, aside from that, this is what we got to deal with. There's a little tiny thing to catch the rainwater. Hopefully the water runs into it and not just lays on the boat everywhere else, because where the pump can't get it. And the idea here is we're going to use this one, because this is a much better pump as far as I'm concerned, or not necessarily this one, but one like it. And we're going to have to chop off 2 of these. Now there's 2 screws in there. Now one of them will seal up, the other one we're going to put it through the hole here. That will obviously go to a pipe, which will be under here more now. Well, it'll be under the seat. That'll be bolted somewhere there. And I mean, although that does still come a little bit this way out, it'll be better for when we box this in, because this has got to be boxed in, and then the box probably is going to have a stainless grill around the base of it to stop any larger bits that might try and go into the pump, because we don't want that going in the pump. And as you see, this is the old pump, which is it's an old rule on this, but you see how that is there. I don't like these. They pump fine, yeah, but I just don't like them for the simple reason, if you look at this one, when you take this, you can pop that off, you can twist that, and you can pull that out. And as you can see, that is really easy to clean. And things like this, you see, if you get a bit of fishing line goes up in there, you'll have a nightmare getting it out of this thing, because it's all sealed. I mean, it's designed to stop things going in, but things always get sucked up. Bit of fishing line in there, wraps around the back of this, and you almost, well, you'll struggle to get it out. But with this one, you can just pull it out like that, clean it if you need to, and then it just goes back in like that, and just, it's got a grommet or an O-ring, so you just, has that gone in? That's it, like that. Just lock it off like that. That's it. And they're great pumps, they're very reliable. These are Johnson pumps, but most reliable pumps I've ever actually owned. I had one of these for years and years, and I bought another one. The last one's been going, which is this one, for about 6 or 7 years, and I bought another one to replace this one, not because this one was broken, but because, you know, it was getting old, and I thought, well, I'll just get another pump, or another one of these, and have a spare one. So yeah, hopefully that'll go there. This is going to change, obviously this is something different. We'll run a hose up to the side there, and we'll probably come out in the boat. Now it's going to be a bit of an awkward one, this, because going up here, I don't like going up here because of the, you can get airlocks where the water doesn't want to push out if it's too high, if the pump dries out. And I've seen this happen with small pumps before, or I've had it happen. Eventually it'll pump out, but sometimes it can be pumping for quite a while before it raises it enough to get it over. So I might go through the side there and put a pipe hole through the side of the boat. Another work in progress, so things will obviously keep changing, but that is the idea at the moment. And this will stay on, and I might try and change the pipe on that to maybe something a bit easier than this. This is very stiff, obviously you don't want it collapsing, but I might take it back and put almost a hose system here, a hose pipe, and that hose pipe then can be laid anywhere in the boat. Say we take off and we're heading out to sea and all the water rushes into the back there somehow, or there's a lot of water built up in there, I can lay the hose in there and I can suck the water out by hand with the hand pump. And also the hand pump is good if your battery's ever flat or anything like that. So, more ideas. But anyway, it's been quite a productive week, even though nothing seems to have changed on here. We have taken bits off we need from that boat. We brought them over, stuff is in the workshop being worked on, the cuddies, the engine mounts, and other things like this. Obviously I'm making up, checking out the wiring on everything, and this box has got to be made as well, because it's got to be a really strong box which is bolted down, something you can't get into or can't break off in case anybody tries to come and rob stuff from the boat. Yeah, we're almost there with things. And as far as boat licenses go, nothing's changed. Well, it's a bit of a blowy day today. So what am I doing? I'm using a very worn out blade. I'm just cutting up some these are just offcuts of stainless steel that I've been cutting. And what I'm doing is I'm cutting some little things like this that don't look like much, but what it is, it's for this strap. This strap will be pinned down to the floor where the battery is, and it's just to hold the battery box in place. That'll be pinned onto there, that'll be screwed down like that to the floor, and then that goes over the top of the battery box and holds the battery from moving around. Now originally there was plastic ones here, but I don't want to use the plastic ones because they look really old. Well, they are only thin plastic, so I've decided to make just up some little stainless ones just with some offcuts. Then we go to the ancient shed with 1,000,001 different polishes and things in here. This is my father's shed, where he's got all his stuff from hundreds of years. I used to be a renovate furniture antique restorer. So let me see, can we see this? Yeah, you can see that. So basically, got to shape them up. It's not very bright in here, but it's always very dim in this place. One of the bulbs is gone from the light, so okay, I'll do that all in a minute. Right, just going to put a couple of holes in them. Well, I'm going to be using cobalt drill bits. I tend to use cobalt on stainless because stainless is obviously a lot harder. You can use regular, but just much easier to use cobalt. I do put cobalt drill bits in pillar drills mainly. You can use them on a hand drill, but you've got to be so careful because if you move or bend them at all, they will snap. They're quite brittle, so. But brilliant for getting through stainless steel. Right, let me just put. So I'm going to be wearing a glove because it's going to get hot. Well, it won't get that hot, but it will. It may spin in my hand, so we don't want that shooting around and causing injury. Right, so. Going to taper the holes for the screws, but normally I would use a small taper tool, but I don't want to knacker it up on the stainless particularly because I've only got one at the moment, or two, but they're good ones and I use them in the wood a lot, and like I said, I just don't want to blunt them on stainless. I will use a bigger drill bit. You can do it this way as well. Got to be careful that it doesn't catch in the hole like in wood. If catch in the hole and then pull the drill bit through, but on these it's fine. It won't do that. There you go, 3 little clamps just to clamp the battery straps down.